Good morning. I'm Vincent Meza. This is Listings to Leads, and this is our class for to get started. So really it's for our new clients and also our long-term clients that want to refresh and find out what's new and what's going on. So let me give you a high level of what we do. We're an advertising platform for realtors. A lot of lenders use us, title professionals use us as well, but primarily for real estate agents and real estate offices. We are designed to help you advertise. And if you have listings, great. We have very powerful automated listing marketing. If you don't have listings, that's okay too, because we have a lot of tools to help you get both buyer leads and seller leads. And the focus of our tools are actually to capture leads. And I think there's a lot of tools that you're going to hear me talk about here coming as we get started. And they are the difference from our tools and many of the tools created by a lot of the great companies out there is that our tools are designed to capture lead. Most tools, especially if you're from any of the large agencies or national brokerages, your tools look good. They got your branding covered. They got your colors covered and they're automated, but they don't actually capture leads. And there's a lot of great companies that'll sell you all kinds of leads for pretty large amounts. And there's always a question of ROI. And here we're a really low cost solution. We're a month-to-month solution. And if you use our tools, you're going to end up getting both buyer leads and seller leads. Let's get into that. And before we go look at it, let's see here. I'm looking at, okay. Rosemary saying she's been with us for a couple years and you're interested in buyer leads. Okay, that's the easy one. So we'll tackle that first. But before I do, I want to point everybody out to a couple of resources that are available to you. And as our YouTube channel. Well, of course, we're doing live training. I do live training every week. And so you're welcome to join us on leadgenwebinars.com. But every class we do, including the one we're doing right now together, is recorded. And you can come here to this page and check out the recording. Now, I do recommend, I do 4 classes and you can see them here. One for lenders, top tools for more listings. You can't quite even see that. And Facebook and Google ads, and then get started. So you can see that repeating, right? Every 2 weeks, I roll through these 4 classes. And I do, however, recommend if you're a realtor and you want more listings, that you watch a couple versions of top tools for more listings. Okay. Because I don't actually say the exact same thing every time I get on a call. A lot of things are happening real time. I get a lot of feedback from agents because I'm talking to them all the time and I'm getting feedback from our office clients. So I share those things. And so sometimes it's not exactly the same. But if you want more listings in your business, I recommend you watch 2 or 3 of the top tools for more listings. Here's one here. And I think this one's good. It says work your farm. Right. And that's something you can do with our platform. And that goes into detail of how to really build a list, work your farm with e-flyers, work your farm with dedicated ads, and work your farm with print. And that's really what you can do with Listings to Leads is you can work in multiple channels to target your audience. Right. And I think you're going to need to do that because I think it's been competitive. The real estate industry is not ever. Sometimes it's easy and the fish are just jumping on the boat. But right now there's a few challenges, right? There's high prices and there's high interest rates. And depending on where you're sitting, you might have an inventory shortage or you might have an inventory glut. And so you've got these different dynamics, different parts of the country. Up in Canada, we have clients in the Caribbean. So there's all kinds of different things going on here. Doesn't matter. Our platform is helping our clients right now. And the question is the way it helps is if you use the tool. So hold on to that page. Check out our YouTube channel. We also have a mastermind group. It's a private group in Facebook. And it's where Scott and I talk about the new technology we're delivering. It's also talking about what our clients are doing. So sometimes they'll come in and ask questions. And sometimes they'll come in like here, somebody's asking. Sometimes they'll come in and ask questions. And sometimes they'll share and say, hey, this is what's working. So here somebody's saying, how do we create an email contact list? And just to give you an answer, I have no idea what they're talking about because you cannot create an email contact list in our system to reach out via email. So if you're capturing leads with us, and we'll get into the setup in a minute, you can connect your CRM to our platform so that when we're capturing leads for you, we'll drop them in your CRM and you use your CRM to do the email work, right? And I'll show you e-flyers, and you should definitely be copying our e-flyers, pasting them into your CRM and blasting them out. Charles here is asking a question about, hey, how do I iframe a page into, I'm not even sure what he's trying to iframe it, but iframing means when you want to take a page, a landing page is usually what they're looking for, and embed it somewhere else, right? And usually our clients want to take a instant home value landing page. I'll show you how to do this and embed that in your website. Now, I don't actually recommend that because I don't think, unless you have thousands of people hitting your website every month, I don't recommend wasting your time. Now, I don't know what Charles is doing here. Good luck. It's just a question. Probably he should ask support. I don't know, but he's directing it to Scott. Nothing wrong with that. So here, Tommy is saying 4 days ago, I just got a listing from the PDF guide, 12 mistakes to avoid when selling your home. Okay. And that's a very straightforward thing of what's going on there. And what that means is, and I'm going to show you that you have actually 80 PDF guides available to you, some for buyers and some for sellers. And just as a reminder, Rosemary earlier asked, I want to get more buyers. And I actually don't recommend using PDF guides to get buyers. We're going to talk about that in a minute. They are designed for buyers. And I think these PDF guides can be useful. If you absolutely have no content and you want to get something out there, you can get that out there. If you want to convert your leads and you want to send something of value, a PDF guide can be hugely valuable. And sometimes PDF guides for sellers can really work at getting you listings. And Tommy here is telling us, if you read the notes, that he ran an ad on Google and he got a lead, right? He got people to click on that ad. We pre-write it for you. You just click a couple buttons and it's there. And he gets a listing, right? He gets a listing from that. And that's what we're doing here. We're trying to make advertising easy for realtors. You don't have to write the content on your ads. We do that here. And so I'll show you what that looked like. We can't just keep reading down here, but let's see here. Hey team, I'm using the QR code today for the open house. Have you used it? And they're just asking questions, right? That QR code would actually lead to a single property website for that home that we created. So we create the QR codes and we do all kinds of things like that. If you come to our home site, our homepage, you'll notice that we've got 100 tools to market listings and buyer and seller leads, 100+ tools. We got social media ads ready with one click. That's totally true. We got unlimited landing pages. We have the PDF guides I mentioned. We also have social media content. I'll show you where to grab that. And then we have tools to run Google ads and also a whole recruiting platform. So if you have a team or an office and you want to use us to attract agents, we definitely have that built as well. So let's log in and let's look at under the hood what we have. And as we log in, I'm going to give you we're going to breeze over the top here. One, we always drop you on the landing page. And I'm trying my hardest to get this to be like a work area where you know what to do to get buyers and you know what to do to get sellers, right? And we're trying to, I think one thing is we have a lot of tools here. You are not seeing my screen. Oh, what the heck? Forgive me. Isabel, thank you for pointing that out. I'm sorry. That was my first question. My screen. So give me a second and let me turn it on. Hopefully, there we go. I've just been blabbering on and even listening to my. All right, so we're in the account now. Maybe you want to go find the YouTube channel and you can watch the beginning of it. This is the dashboard. When you log in, you're right here. And we're trying to put everything that's valuable on this page. You should actually scan through here and you'll notice that here are PDF guides, right? You will see that there's playbooks that Scott does for his training. And there are worksheets that you can work through to get more things done with our system. But you can also mark it. If you have listings, you can mark it right here. So if I click on market listings, it's going to take me to this. And these are all the tools that we do for your listing. So I'm going to go back and do it the way that I've done it. I also want to point out that there's a training class up here, or training page. And here you can see Scott does some calls and then I do calls. And I'm not sure, one day we'll get them all on one page, but you can sign up here or up here on the classes that I do. Let's go look here. So let's talk about setup. When you sign up, we actually drop you on a wizard, okay? And the wizard's pretty good, but I want to go through it here so that you really make sure that you're doing this the right way. First, you want to click on auto posting, and this allows us to auto post your listings at various statuses and landing pages to your social media account. So you come here and you click connect and it takes you to Facebook or it takes you to this platform. On Facebook, it's going to connect. It's going to say, is this you? And it's going to ask your name. And you say, yes, it's me. And then it takes you to this page with all your business pages and you choose which business page you want. You want to make sure also that your business page name is showing in a green box here. If it's not, you can click this box and you can add things, right? And then save it, right? And then from there on, we're going to look at your listings and we're going to have some dynamic content and they'll just auto post out and there'll be a landing page behind it. So the nice thing about our auto posting is there is free lead capture built in. You won't get a lot of leads from this. And this is because not everybody, one, especially on Facebook, there are not many of you that have thousands of people following. Usually it's hundreds. When you're posting anything to Facebook on a business page, only 5% of that audience will see anything you put there. So you're not really getting a lot there, but it is helpful to tell a listing, like some homeowner, that I post your listings to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Google, right? And I also create a virtual tour and put it on YouTube. That, from a social media advertising perspective, is a mouthful. And not many people can do that. If they're clients of ours, they can do, we do it for them automatically. You'll also notice that CRM integration is here. And that means that you connect your CRM and just drop in whatever the step is and save it. And anytime you capture a lead from us anywhere, whether it's print, online, social media, wherever, it's going in your CRM. So that's what you do on the profile. If you move up the list here, there's something called lead links. I definitely recommend paying attention to this page if you have a powerful, good website. Okay. And what I mean by a good website is, does your website, if I click on it and I look for properties, will you force me to register? Now, this one has been deactivated. I should update this link. Will you force me to register after 3 or 4 or 5 homes? If not, if I can just search forever, I would not point people to this. But let's say you're in Cincinnati. You could create a link that says Cincinnati Homes for Sale. You have to know how to spell that. And I shouldn't have picked Cincinnati Homes. And you put in the property search page over here and you check that box and that becomes a default link on all of your tools. Only do this if your website is configured to prompt people to register, because then you can get buyer lead. So that's the lead links page here. If you move up, you'll notice we have text IVR, and I do recommend text IVR. What that is, it's a unique code. So if I look here, I have a property here, and there's a code next to it. You can reassign these. Typically, these are designed for like sign writers, right? Text this code to that code, and you will get you'll get an instant response. You'll get you can get a single property website. I don't know why we have these crazy colors on here, but it would, whatever your color scheme is, it would deliver this page. It's a listing presentation. So that's why it's so weird. And so when you are doing that, if you want leads with phone numbers, asking somebody to text one number to the next is going to get you leads with phone numbers. So you can sign up for those if you want. They're add-on. It's $10 a month and you get 10 codes and you can reassign them, right? If we keep moving up, all of your leads are here. And I would keep an eye on this leads page. We're actually working on this to help you work your leads and convert your leads. When it comes to converting leads, I can tell you this, a lot of realtors might call a lead one time. I don't even think 75% of realtors don't call a lead twice, right? That's just, at least that's a number. But this, we're going to make like a workstation for you to convert leads. You're going to be able to see who are my hot buyer leads, who are my hot seller leads, and who are my people that I need to keep in touch with. So watch the leads page. That's going to be working up. Now, also, if you're new to us, we should have this follow-ups going on automatic. And that means that these are drip campaigns. We have them in English, we have them in Spanish, and you can just turn those on just by clicking the button. And our drip campaigns are actually very effective at closing appointments. If your drip campaigns are not effective at closing appointments, I recommend you turn ours on. They will automatically go on, and I just recommend that. If we keep going up, you'll notice that there's a client review page. And if you have reviews on various websites like Zillow or Google or Facebook or wherever, I highly recommend that you get them here, because we actually embed them inside of your tools, inside of your single property websites. There's a number of places where you can click to see your reviews, right? We also create a dedicated website to showcase those reviews. And so you should take this website, take the website URL at the top, put it on Facebook and tag your client and thank them for that review. All of your reviews will be here. Okay. It will also have the marketing plan, which is really the listings to leads marketing solution. Doesn't mention our company, but it's just saying this is what you're bringing to the table to sell. If you want to snap in a testimonial, like on YouTube, you can. We'll see in a few minutes that there are PDF guides, right? This is the one here, 12 mistakes to avoid that somebody uses. People can download these for free as long as they give you their contact. So again, multiple ways of capturing leads. Right here, if you have listings in your account, I can click on the listings. It'll take me to a single property website. And there I can learn more about the home. And I guarantee you, there's going to be some sort of page that pops up and asks for their contact information. So leverage your reviews to get more leads, right? Lots of lead capture on this page, right? And that's on the reviews page. And you can add reviews here. You can add them. You can auto import them from Google. You can auto import them from, I think, Zillow and Testimonial Tree, or you can manually add them, use copy and paste them. Now they will sit in our system and you'll be able to capture more lead with that. Then there's this tab over here, landing pages, and there are unlimited landing pages, and you do get a handful by default right off the bat. And I want to point something out to you. This one here, free home values, it gives an instant home valuation. It's actually embedded in a lot of the tools that are designed to advertise for you. And that's because we know everybody wants more listing, right? And we also know that when you're marketing a home that's for sale, that those leads often are homeowners. So we always embed like, and what I want to point out is you see this cool generic suburban driveway neighborhood picture that we have here. This is a default picture on every one of your pages, on every one of your instant home value pages. And since we're automatically embedding it in a number of tools, if that doesn't look like your neighborhoods, click the pencil, which means edit, and change that background picture to something that looks like your area. Once you click on edit, the very first thing we do is drop you on the background, right? So you upload a picture 2,000 pixels wide. I really recommend like a very popular restaurant or kind of landmark, a building, a stadium, a school, something that everybody knows, right? And we'll look more at that a little bit. We'll come back to that. But I would do that right off the bat, because as our tools start getting out there and in the social media auto posting, we're going to start auto posting that to your social media. And if it looks like totally different from your area, that might not work for you. We also give you a down payer assistance page. We also give you a new construction page. And you can always come here to this create landing page and create unlimited landing pages. Property Valuation Plus is the one that creates an instant home value page. So you click on that and you type in the name of your favorite town and you click create landing page and bang, we've created it. And then once you've created the landing page, and this is true for almost all of our tools, there are print tools. So you create a landing page, you get a print tool, you get multiple print tools to drive people to that. There are also ad tools. You can run ads on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Google to get people to that landing page. And then there are e-flyer tools. So if you have and right here it says marketing tools, let's click that. You can actually run an ad on Facebook. And so here I'm clicking on marketing tools for that landing page. And you can run an ad on Facebook. You can run an ad on Google. You can share it on social media for free. And if you got a big audience, it might be useful for you. If you got a big database, if you got a big CRM with thousands of leads, here is an e-flyer that you can copy here and blast out in your CRM. There are also postcards, door hangers. I have a client that all he does, like one of the major things he does is he prints out these door hangers at Vista Prints. He prints them out in batches of 1,000, gives them to his agents and asks him to walk certain street. And he knows he's walking the street because he's actually getting listing leads right at the end, by the end of the day, because people will go look at their door. They'll see this hanging there. There's the QR code that you can scan it and boom, you get your listing. You get your home valuation for free. Really a great tool, right? There's circle prospecting letters, QR codes if you want that. I know that there's a lady out she's a coach. I think that's her name, Amber Ambrecht. And she tells people, we have people sign up with her from her all the time. She's like, everything that I print, I have this QR code on it. And it says, get your home value here, right? So it doesn't matter what she's doing. It's always going to have this QR code, and that's always going to point to the landing page, right? And so it's designed to get her that kind of page. And earlier we were talking about embed codes, right? We were talking about the mastermind group, and somebody said, hey, how do you I frame something in here? And this is how you do it. You copy this code and you drop it on your website, right? That's normally what people want to do. They want to put something like an instant home value page on their website. I get it. Don't really recommend it. If you want to do that, we certainly make that available to you. If we keep moving up, we're still talking about setup here. So there's social content, and definitely turn this on. This is one of the first things, and you want to make sure it's done correctly. So we'll give it a second here. When you first come to this page, it's going to ask you to connect your social media account. So connect. Then second, what days of the week do you want to push content out? I'm going to turn that down a little bit, because we just don't need this going out. And you might feel like you want something going out twice a week, right? And then, then we're going to ask you to choose the topics. And the topics are actually really important. These are pre-written kind of article, right? The nice thing about them is they're colorful and they're light conversational stuff, right? We're not making really heavy industry reads about mortgage rates or whatever, because frankly, our opinion is it's an ADD nation out there. Nobody really reads anything. But that's why things like Instagram and Facebook and all these other social are so powerful. People like to look at that. And then why you want to think about this page is, let's not the page. If you turn this content on, it's automatically going to your socials, right? And I've had feedback very recently from our clients who are using this on Instagram, and they're telling us, hey, our Instagram followers have been increasing because people like this content. I've also noticed, and I've heard from other clients, that their social media, their Google business page is increasing in SEO because this content is going out a few days a week. You don't need to turn all of these on. I recommend picking 2 or 3 from this home design category. Definitely turning on PDF guides in English. If you want them for buyers, for sellers in Spanish, if you do that as well. Maybe you want 1 or 2 quotes. I like outdoor living stuff, so pick one of those. And maybe 1 or 2 from here. Don't turn all these on because it becomes a ton of content and then you get tired of that. But I do think some of it can really be helpful. And that's a set and forget area. And when we're posting your PDF guide, we always put a landing page behind it. So if somebody wants to download one for free, all they got to do is give you their contact information. So definitely use that. Now, we'll move up, and on PDF guides, like I mentioned earlier, there are 80 for you. 40 are for buyers, 40 are for sellers. And if you remember when I was talking about our mastermind group, let's go up here and look. There's a guy, Tommy, who said, hey, I just got a listing from running a Google. Let's see, it should be down here on the 12 steps to avoid when selling a home. And that's right here. And he goes, I got a listing from that. So let's just take a moment and see how the heck would you do that. And so here we are on PDF guides. And here is the report that we were talking about. Now, I want to point out, when you set up your profile, I forgot to mention that, there's an appearance tab. And there you choose your colors, you put your logo, you put your picture. And that means that your color, logo, and picture are going to be on every page of these. Okay. And if I click on market and I click on Google Ads, I'm actually subscribed to our Google software. So this is how easy it is to run an ad. I could just type in the number one town where I want to work. I live in Lafayette, so I'm going to be focused on Lafayette. And publish. $50 ad a day. Now, the funny thing, I will tell you this, is this guy said, if we look in the notes, he changed it to $7 or $9. So running an ad for $9 a day, he actually got a listing lead, right? And that would be a 7-day ad. We put it at 50 because when you're trying to get seller leads, we don't know what tool you're using. Google sets the price of the lead. So if you're spending $50 a day and they're charging $10 a lead, you might get 5 leads every day. It's not guaranteed to get 5 leads every day, but it's basically, there's this division, the price per lead that Google sets. It's true for Facebook as well. And then you divide that amount into here. And you need to test this to find out what Google is charging you. And when you sign up for our Google ad software, it's a 30 free trial, and you can see, oh, I'm getting charged X number of dollars for seller leads. But that's how he did it. He typed in the name of his town, he clicked publish, and that's it. We make it incredibly easy. If you try to go run an ad on Google, it's actually not easy at all. So we make it very easy. We know that realtors, if there's a chorus that all realtors say, it goes something like this: I'm not very tech savvy. I've heard that so many times in the 14 years that we've been doing this, that's like the theme, that theme of all realtors. I'm not very tech savvy. Now, I know there's some tech savvy agents out there, and some of them, a lot of them find us and they are like blown away at how much time that we are saving them. But for many, I think the majority of realtors, they're not tech savvy. And so the PDF guides, if we go back here, yes, you can run a Google ad. That's a smart thing to do. Yes, you can run a Facebook ad. That's a smart thing to do. But you can also, if you click market, you can just share it for free through your CRM when you see eFlyer for your database. You could share it to your social media accounts, but you might remember that on the social content page, we'll do that for you automatically. So if you like to do things by hand, you can do it here. If you want us to do it automatically, do it up here. And then there are print flyers and postcards, right? And so that's a reminder. Whenever tool you've got, it could be an open house, it could be a PDF guide, it could be a landing page. There are going to be ad solutions to get people to it. There are going to be eFlyer solutions and print solutions. So you should be looking at that all the time. Let's go up to listings and let's talk about that. So when you sign up, we're going to ask for your MLS email, and that's going to help us auto sweep your listing, right? And once we do that, if you have social media auto posting turned on, we're going to auto post them to your social media. And that's cool. Like I said, that's cool. You won't get a ton of leads that way, but you might get excited because you might get a few free leads, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when you have a listing in here, you should come in and go to market listing and see all the things we're doing. You can run an ad on Facebook and Instagram right here. And so earlier, Rosemary asked, I want to know how to get buyer leads. And the answer is right here. You put a property inside of our system that's for sale, just listed, active, or open house, and you click on Facebook and Instagram ads, and you click that button, and that's going to create an ad for $35 for 7 days. It's pre-written. It's got some photos right there. You can also go here if you want, and there's nothing wrong with this. This actually helps you out. It gets better results. And you say, I want to have multiple photos. So if I click on 5 photos, let's click on the kitchen, let's click on the bedroom and the backyard, and yeah, maybe there, and click insert. This creates what's called a carousel ad. So people can look at multiple images of the home before they click through. This can make your ad more effective. Okay. When you click that button, the ad's going to get approved by Facebook, and then it's going to start working. It'll be a 7-day ad. If it's an ad for buyer leads, those leads on average cost about $3 each, maybe more, maybe less, depending on where you are. And that's the fastest way to get buyer lead. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to have a sip of coffee, and I'm going to show you something in our mastermind group. I definitely recommend ask the support team to get you in here. This guy, Brian, they've been a client for quite a while. I set up their office, I think all over a year ago. And so he came in here to say, hey, I got a listing by running a sold ad, right? So I showed you how to run an ad on a property that is for sale, but you can also do it on properties that are pending or under contract. And we change the language. So the same home in early stage,
Share with you guys a little success story this morning.
I'm gonna mute him. And what he's doing. So he's in Texas. He's showing here that you can run an ad on a home that's sold and get a list. But he also said that this home, he generated 114 buyer leads from this one home. Okay. So I want to tell you how you do that. Okay? But then he goes, we got 114 buyer leads, and we converted 4 of those into home purchases. Now to get 100 buyer leads, you got to pay for each lead. And you might remember that I said that it costs about $3 a lead. So if you multiply 3 times 114, you're going to get to about $350. Okay. So he spent $350 to get 114 leads, and he got 4 people to buy homes. I think the commission on 4 home purchases in Texas is more than $350. What do you think? Now, in the second half of the video, he says, yeah, we ran an ad on which cost $50, and I got a lead. I texted the lead until they wanted to make a phone call, and we have an appointment by the end of the day, and they booked a listing appointment for a $400,000 sell listing, and then they want to turn around and buy another home for $450,000. So that's $850,000 in volume from one $50 ad on a sold ad. Okay. Definitely, if you want more listings, I recommend that you do that you run ads on Facebook. It's very easy to do. And that's like what you're going to do. So I see here. So for a sold home, what type of ad should I run using Facebook when I get the names of 150 homeowners? Yeah. Okay. So that's a good question, Isabel. Let's unpack that. So what that guy was saying is he got 114 buyer lead. So he probably didn't do that with $30 ads. If he ran an ad for $350, that would get you about 115 leads, right? But that's for buyers. If I run an ad for homes that are sold, Facebook charges you more for that lead. It's usually double. It's about 7. Okay. So if you want 100 leads, so now this property that we're looking at here is sold. If you want 100 leads on that, well, you would need to spend $700. Does that make sense? Because Facebook on average, and I don't know where each of you are sitting, but on average, there's $7 a lead. And you do have to think about this. These are online leads. And I did show you an example of Brian over there who said, I ran one $50 ad and I got one listing from that. That's awesome because he didn't run a $700 ad. I'm showing you that if the cost of a seller lead in your market is $7 each and you want 100 leads, you're going to have to spend that much money. not, there are very few people. Actually, none of our clients spend $700 on one ad. They usually run $100 ads. They're really looking at lead volume to convert lead volume, right? Because the average conversion of online leads is 1 to 3%. We actually have a top agent from one of our long-term offices who has his own team. And this guy grew from being a rookie agent when I closed their office like 7 years ago to being top 5 agent in an office of 100 agents, right? And he's telling me, we convert 1% of your lead. I have other people like this guy, Brian, who's converting 4%, right? You do have to think of how you're going to convert leads. But I can tell you this, when a typical client of ours runs a normal ad on a home that's for sale or sold, the default setting is $50. If a lead costs $7, you can expect 7 leads, right? 7 into 50 is 49, or 7 by 7, $49. That's, you want to think about that. Sold ads are a really easy way of getting leads. Let's just go down the list here so we can look more at what's going on for listing marketing. This here is a social media post. And what's different, I want to speak a little bit to Facebook because you guys all have different knowledge at Facebook. You might know that you can post something for free. You can copy and paste things on Facebook, and that's cool. That's free. And what we're looking at here is a social media post. Okay. And here it says we automatically did that. And that's because on the profile, we turned on social media auto posting, and we auto post something to your social media. It's going to look like this. All that's pre-written. You don't have to touch it. But what's really cool about this, if somebody clicks on it, there's going to be a page behind it that's going to have all the information. And it's because this home is sold, the call to action is going to be, hey, that affects your home value. Get your free home value. So here, this is free social media auto posting to get you more listing. Okay. And you definitely want to be taking advantage of that. You want to make sure that when you have your listings inside the system that you're updating the status. It may not be updated by your MLS. So just update it. Very easy. It's one button. We have tools for the seller social media. We email these to you. Many of our clients ignore these. They don't want to read instructions, right? And what it's telling you is take the email, forward it to your client, make sure this content is right there, because if they paste this on their Facebook wall, it's going to look just like this. It's going to have your name and phone number right here saying, hey, we want to recommend you for doing a great job. So if you like testimonials and you like referrals, use this seller social media tool. We email it to you automatically. Try not to ignore it. The nearby homeowner letter is the #1 way of getting listing leads that turn into listing contracts. Now, you remember at the beginning of the call, I said, hey, I do a class every 2 weeks called Top Tools for More Listings. This tool is the #1 tool. And I would watch the class because I'll show you how you actually get this into the market. But it says, hey, this home is sold. Go check it out. That's going to affect your home value. Go here and get your free home value. And you remember that link there, we automatically created. And that's why I'm saying, make sure that background picture looks like your neighborhoods so that people feel comfortable giving you their contact information. So that's the nearby homeowner letter. And go check out our YouTube channel on Top Tools for More Listings, and I'll tell you how to get it out there. Hint, you got print ways, you got Facebook ad and Google ads, and you've got e-flyers, all to get people to this kind of tool here. There are postcards and door hangers. If you have a sold home, our just sold postcards, actually, we've had people tell us for every 100 of these they mail out, they get a listing lead. Notice on the front, it says, hey, this home is sold, go check it out. When they land there, they're going to become a listing lead. On the back, it's always going to say that's going to affect your home value. Go here. You recognize that California free home loan or free home values. That's your link pointing to that same landing page. That's why you want that landing page to look like your area. There's an e-flyer for your database. You got a bunch of leads in your CRM. copy and paste and blast this out. What I'm going through is a lot of things here, right? And you got to think about this. Do you want a lot of leads, or do you just want a couple social media things to go out? Because what I'm showing you are a lot of steps to do a lot of things. And that means you're going to be fishing with a lot of poles in the water. The more you're using, as you're starting to notice, all of these tools have lead capture. So definitely do that. You have a great open house marketing toolkit. Save your open house in our system. We'll email you all the tools. And yeah, they're designed to get listing, buyer leads, and seller leads. We have blog tools if you're a blogger. We have tools for Craigslist. Like I said earlier, we have QR codes. We even create a YouTube video and pop it up onto YouTube for you. That's what I would be doing. So for a just sold home, what? Yeah, okay. So let's just go answer that one more time for Isabel. When you get your listings in the system, seeing them when they're just sold, they're coming when they're just listed. So you can change the status to under contract or pending. You can run an ad on any of those later stages and you're going to get listing lead. You could change it to sold. And then we change the content, we change the ad. So this one is sold. We were looking at it a couple minutes ago, but let's just click on it again just to make sure we're all on the same page. You click on Facebook and Instagram. So as long as you change the property to sold, the text that you need to get these listing leads is already there. All you have to do is click create ad. It's a $50 ad, usually they're $7 leads. So you would get 7 leads for that $50, right? If you want more leads, you can change that to $100. Again, 14 leads. And that's how that works. So let's go over here and let's jump on the ad section because we went through everything for listing marketing. And on the ad section, you can run ads for any PDF guide, for any listing, and for any landing page. And so you can do that and just use our default settings. And if you're like distracted or not paying attention, definitely want to be paying attention. Our clients still make mistakes because they're just doing whatever random thing they're thinking of doing. But if you just follow the steps that I'm showing you, it's gonna work, right? So we've run a couple listing ads, so we won't do that. We'll do a PDF guide. And I don't recommend using PDF guides for buyers because the fastest way to get buyer leads is by marketing a home that's for sale. Okay. I do recommend using PDF guides to get listing leads though. And you can do this on both Facebook and on Instagram. We saw in the mastermind group that this guy is doing, got one from Google. So let's do one here, divorce and real estate. And leave it on lead ads. This is number one. These leads are pre-populated from the Facebook profiles. So nobody's typing anything in. So always leave on lead ads and do create ad. If you think that there's some reason that you need to drive traffic to a page, email me and we can talk about it. I really don't think, unless you got something really compelling on a landing page, I don't think that's going to be a great way of doing it. So anyway, you choose your whatever PDF guide you want and you target an area that you want to target, right? I'm going to target Miami because maybe somebody's going to get divorced in Miami, right? Maybe not today. And maybe they're not even thinking about divorce and real estate. They're just thinking about divorce, right? This might be useful. They might say, hey, you know what? I'm going to download that. When you're running a PDF guide ad for listing leads, and that's what this is, these leads often cost on average $10 each. So if you divide 10 into 50, you can expect 5 leads, 7-day ad, click publish, you're all done. Okay. Now, a lot of people want to run ads to get listings, right? And so the default way of doing that is saying, hey, I want to do free home values. And I want lead ads because I want my lead pre-populated, and let's do this, right? And you'd be surprised. This is a great way for our clients to waste their money. There's a lot of problems here. One is, do you live in Vermont or Miami or Arizona or somewhere where this doesn't look like your area? Because that's what you're doing. You're running an ad that doesn't even look like your area, asking him. The other big problem is when you're targeting an area, and I'm going to target Lafayette. I have cities in every direction around it. Okay. And I cannot change this radius. It has to be minimum 15 miles. So where I live, a 15-mile radius means that this ad that I'm hoping to get people is going to show to 1 million people who live outside of Lafayette. I would not be running this ad at all. I would not be using this generic thing here. I would be creating a ad that says, get your Lafayette home value. And I'd have some picture of downtown Lafayette. That's what I would do. But even if I created that custom landing page for that area, this targeting would not work for me. And that's why when you watch my top tools for more listings class, you'll notice that I talk about custom audiences, talk about it here on Work Your Farm very deeply. So you definitely will, because it says this is the way that people lose their money on Facebook, is running home value ads and not doing it correctly. Okay. Now, one other thing to say about this, these seller leads cost the most on Facebook, on average $15. So as a reminder, buyer leads cost about $3. Just sold leads cost about $7. PDF guides for homeowners cost about $10 a lead. And a landing page of what your home is worth, these cost $15 a lead. Doesn't matter how you get the leads, they still convert between 1% to 3%. So you can pay more for the leads or less for the lead. I actually do recommend running this kind of ad as long as you do it correctly, because not only do you capture leads, but thousands of people see this. And you want people to know that you're a realtor who offers that kind of service. So it's awesome for your branding to be running ads on Facebook. I think one thing I want to say about that is I recommend that every agent has a minimum budget of $200 a month. And when I say minimum, I'm talking about a totally green agent who doesn't have any business. Because I don't know where you're all sitting here, right? But I'm just going to pull a number out of the air. You're all competing against at least 10,000 agents. There are 10,000 other real estate agents in your market. I know for some of you, there are 30 and 40,000, right? But I'm just choosing 10,000. So how do you stand up and get noticed against all these other people? If you're spending $200 a month, and let's just say it's $450 ads a month, about 10 to 15,000 people are going to see your business page because you're the one sponsoring it. And you got to ask yourself, how are 10,000 people seeing notice that you're a realtor? For most of you, that's just not happening, right? And that's why I tell people you should be running $200 an ad a month on Facebook, because you will be seen multiple times and you'll capture leads, okay? But let's talk about Google, because Google is the number one website in the country, okay? And people don't go to Facebook for answers, right? They go to Facebook because it's cool. They can look at pictures of what their friends are doing. They can look at what their grandkids are doing. They can see where their friends are doing on vacation. And of course, you can see what they're eating. Everybody likes to take pictures of what they're eating, right? So here my friend has something about a crow, right? But right here is some ad. Why would I see this? I guess because I'm a man, right? Your ads show up right here. So as you're scrolling through, or as your target audience is scrolling through whatever they're going to see, ads from various companies show up here. That's why Facebook is so powerful. But nobody comes to Facebook and says, hey, where in Hawaii, where can I get a good steak dinner? And how do I sell my home? Where do they ask that? 86% of all people in the United States ask questions like that on Google. So how do you compete on that page? Well, you use our Google ad software, because we make it incredibly easy. You can go here and you say, and remember, it does cost $30 a month just to use the software. But I don't recommend trying to get buyers with Google. I recommend running ads on properties on Facebook that are for sale. But if you want a listing, you could definitely say, hey, I'm going to create a landing page for my favorite area, right? I have one here I created one recently for Livermore. Livermore is a small town by me. You click create ad, and we do everything. We do everything for you. All you have to do is type in the town that page is speaking about, right? Livermore, California. And the ad's written. This is a mobile view, but you can click here and see what it looks like on a desktop. So when I click over here, you see this kind of look here from realtor.com and SF Home Buyer. That look corresponds to this look right here. Okay. So to make all that happen, you just choose whatever tool you want and you click create ad and then make sure you type in the town. Now, if we look here, you don't have to do this, but I'm going to just show you. This is a pay-per-click ad. So I created this landing page in just a couple minutes. It's a home value page, right? And I put a picture of one of the famous wineries in the background. You want to do something now. You want to use a picture of people of some landmark that everybody in that town knows, because you're going to ask them for their address and their contact info. This is a good way of using Google. Another good way of using Google. Remember how I said there are 40 different PDF guides? That's a good time to use a PDF guide. So click on create a PDF guide and let's wait for it to do it. There are all kinds of PDF guides, right? And I showed you actually at the beginning, I did top 12 mistakes to avoid. Here are 5 dangers of overpricing. This is irrelevant. This is relevant for anybody right now. You definitely don't want to be doing that. So if I click create an ad and I say, hey, you run an ad for your town, not even specific. So you could target whatever area you want and click publish. And that will be available also on Google. So you have 40 different reports for homeowners. They don't all work. You know what I mean? They don't all work like equally as well. You have to test it out. If you read through it and you think, okay, I want to focus on getting listings from Google, what are the ones that I think would work best? I think top 5 reasons for overpricing is a big deal. That client who was in the mastermind group says 12 mistakes to avoid. First time home seller guide, right? There's a multiple ones that you can do here. You want to be using those together. So I do want to remind, now's a good time for your questions, everybody, because that's my story. I do want to remind you, and I'll put this in here in case you don't have it. This is a link to our YouTube channel. And I definitely recommend that you watch 2 or 3 of my top tools for listings. You will really understand how to get listings on their platform. And I think it's in your interest to have more listings if you're going to be on Real. So are there any questions for anybody? Because that's my story today. This is being recorded. It will be on this page later today or tomorrow. And let's see, somebody said something about, I'm not in the Facebook group with the link sent in my email yet. I can't see the request. And if anybody here needs help to get in the mastermind group, email me I'll send you my email right now. Or if you have questions, you can just email me. At listings, 2 leads. Man, I really can't type it. I'm going to send this to all of you right now. And Jurisha, as long as you're a client, I'll get you in the group. If you have other questions about what we talked about or something that you didn't ask, just let me know. I don't see any other questions. Thanks for joining me. Get in the mastermind group. Get familiar with our tools. We have clients generating a lot of leads right now and getting closing business right now. And they're doing it because they're leveraging our tools. So thanks for hanging out with me today. Enjoy the rest of the summer and let us know how we can help you. Thanks, everybody.